Hey, my friend. It's so good to see you again. How are you feeling today? I hope you're doing great, and even if you're not, don't worry, because today I'm about to share something that might just change the way you think about learning English forever. Sounds like a big promise? Well, keep reading. Have you ever felt stuck at home, wishing you had someone to practice English with? You're not alone. Trust me, I've been there. Sitting in my room, scrolling through videos, watching people speak fluent English with confidence while I could barely finish a sentence without second-guessing myself. It was frustrating. It felt lonely. But guess what? That quiet, empty room, it became my greatest classroom. Let me tell you a story. My name is Roma. I run the channel Simple Spoken English. And once upon a time, I was exactly like you, trying to speak English but unsure where to start. I didn't have native speakers around, no English-speaking friends, no groups in my city, no tourists to talk to. I was just home, alone. Sounds like a movie title, right? Home Alone. But this version is different. It's the English Learners Edition. No comedy here. Just you, your dreams, and a big question. How do I learn to speak English without anyone to talk to? Well, my friend, today I'm going to share everything that helped me speak better English from the comfort of my small bedroom. You don't need fancy tools. You don't need a teacher sitting next to you. All you need is you, your voice, and a little curiosity. Are you ready? Let's do this together. Let's start simple. Have you ever tried speaking to yourself in the mirror? Sounds weird, right? But let me ask you something. If you can't speak English to yourself, how will you ever speak it to someone else? This technique changed everything for me. I used to stand in front of my mirror every morning and just talk. Yep, I'd look at my reflection and say things like, "Good morning. What's the plan today? I need to go to the grocery store, maybe call my friend Jack and finish my project." That's it. Nothing fancy, just real-life sentences. You don't have to pretend to be Shakespeare. You just have to speak like you. And in the evening, I'd come back to the same mirror, same face, and say, "Today was busy. I went shopping. I cooked pasta. I watched a movie. It was a good day." It became a little habit, like brushing my teeth. And that's the trick. Attach English practice to habits you already have. Brushing teeth, washing your face, getting dressed. You're already doing these things. Why not do them in English? My mom always told me, never go to bed with a dirty face. So, every night while washing up, I'd talk in English. Yes, even while scrubbing behind my ears. Because the more I did it, the more natural it felt. And here's something funny. I started adding expressions. Ugh, the water is cold. Oops, I dropped my towel. Where's my toothpaste? Little things, but so real. That's how real English is used, not from a textbook, but from life. Now you might be thinking, "Okay, Ariel, mirror talking is cool, but what else can I do?" Oh, I've got you. Let's level up. Have you ever tried recording your voice, you? I know, it can feel awkward at first, but it's powerful. When I recorded myself speaking English, I could listen later and hear what I needed to fix. Was I speaking too fast? Too slow? Was my pronunciation clear? Sometimes I laughed at my own mistakes. Sometimes I cringed, but every time I learned. That's the goal. Try this. Record yourself talking about your day, or describe your favorite movie, or explain how to cook your favorite dish. First, I boil water, then I add the pasta. Boom! You're learning vocabulary, verbs, and fluency, all while cooking dinner. Still with me? Good. Let's add another technique that helped me a lot. Shadowing. What's shadowing? No, it's not following someone around in the dark. It's a technique where you copy what you hear. Watch a short video or listen to a podcast. Then pause after each sentence and repeat it out loud. Try to match the tone, the speed, the emotion. Become the speaker. Become the character. I used to do this with my favorite English YouTubers. I'd pause their videos and say exactly what they said, word for word, voice for voice. You'd be surprised how quickly this improves your accent, rhythm, and confidence. And you know what? I also used to talk to my furniture. Yes, really, don't laugh. One day, I walked into my room and said, "Hello, bed. You look comfy, but I have work to do." Then I'd turn to my chair. "Hey, chair, don't break today, okay?" It sounds silly, but it made English fun. And fun is the secret to learning anything. When you enjoy it, you remember it. So let me ask you, what's stopping you from speaking English right now? Is it fear? Is it embarrassment? Is it thinking, wow, what if I sound stupid? I've been there. Everyone has. But let me tell you a truth that changed my life. Nobody cares how perfect your English is. They care about what you're trying to say. So speak. Loudly. Proudly. Even if it's just to your cat, or your mirror, or your empty kitchen. Because every sentence you speak is a step forward. And when you're ready, start interacting. Maybe not with strangers just yet. But how about online voice notes, or English-speaking apps, or reading out loud from a book? I used to take a short story and read it out loud in my room. I'd act out the characters, I'd change my voice. It was like performing a play for an audience of one. But that one was the most important person, me. And now, I speak to thousands, but it all started in that quiet little room. So what about you? Are you going to wait for the perfect moment, or will you take that first small step today? Because here's the truth. You don't need a perfect place. You don't need perfect people. You just need you, your passion, your dream, and your voice. Even if it shakes at first, even if it's quiet, even if you make mistakes, especially when you make mistakes, because that's how growth begins. Now I want you to try something for me today. After reading this, stand up, go to your mirror, look at yourself, and say, "Hi, my name is your name, and I am learning English. I'm proud of myself." Say it again. Say it louder. Say it until you believe it, because you should believe it. And tomorrow, let's add one more sentence, and the next day, another. Because small steps every day lead to big changes. But wait, what if I told you there's another secret technique I haven't shared yet? One that helped me turn my lonely English practice into real conversations with confidence? One that's easy, free, and already hidden inside your daily life? Curious? Well, you'll just have to wait for the next part. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt lost when it comes to speaking English at home? Like, you want to practice, but you don't know how? You don't have a speaking partner, there are no native speakers nearby, and you feel like you're just stuck? Well, guess what? You're not alone. I've been there. Many of my students have been there. And the good news? There's a simple, creative, and even fun way to improve your speaking right at home, without a partner, without expensive classes, and without feeling shy. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I met a boy named Aman. He was passionate about learning English, but he lived in a small town where no one around him spoke it. He told me, "Sir, I watch videos, I listen to podcasts, but when I open my mouth to speak, nothing comes out. I feel like I'm stuck." Sound familiar? So I gave Aman a challenge. I said, "Let's make English fun. Let's turn your mirror into your best friend." He looked confused. And that's when I introduced him to something I like to call collocation fun. What's that? Let me explain. What's that? First, you need to understand what a collocation is. It's just a fancy word, but it means something very simple. Collocations are words that naturally go together in English. For example, we say heavy rain, not big rain. Even though big and heavy both mean large, only heavy rain sounds right. Strange, right? But English is full of such combinations. So here's what I told Aman. Let's play a little game. We'll pick some collocations, practice them in sentences, and then present a small talk, all in front of the mirror. He laughed. Talking to a mirror? Yes! Because guess what? A mirror is a fantastic tool. It doesn't interrupt you. It doesn't judge. It's always there. And it helps you in ways you didn't even imagine. When you talk to the mirror, you're not just speaking. You're watching yourself speak. You're noticing your mouth movements, your facial expressions, your body language. You become more confident. You start to look like a real speaker because you're watching yourself become one. And that's powerful. Let me show you how collocation fun works. Step 1 is prepare. Choose a topic. It can be anything: science, cooking, traveling, sports, parenting, or even your daily routine. Let's say you choose science. Now go find 6 to 7 collocations related to that topic. You can look them up online, from your textbooks, or from YouTube videos like the ones I create. Some examples of science-related collocations could be exact science, rocket science, chemical reaction, scientific method, branch of science, on the same wavelength. Cool, right? These phrases will be your weapons. Step 2 is practice. Take each collocation and make a sentence with it. Say it out loud in front of the mirror. Let's try it together. Cooking is not an exact science. Sometimes you just follow your heart. Parenting isn't rocket science, but it sure is hard. When you mix vinegar and baking soda, you get a chemical reaction. It's fun. The scientific method helps us find answers through experiments. I think psychology is an interesting branch of science. My best friend and I are always on the same wavelength. We understand each other without speaking. Can you feel the power of these sentences? Now we come to step 3. Present. Imagine someone asks you, describe a science topic you're interested in. How would you respond? Here's an example. Well, I'm actually quite interested in cooking. I know it's not an exact science, but it does involve a lot of science. When you cook food, there's heat, change of texture, and even chemical reactions. I've always felt that chefs and scientists are on the same wavelength. They both experiment and discover. I mean, cooking may not be rocket science, but understanding the balance of flavors and ingredients feels like science to me. Can you hear the fluency? That's how powerful this method is. And remember, your sentences don't need to be perfect. The goal is not perfection, it's practice. Every time you do this, you become a little better, a little faster, a little more confident. When Aman tried this method, he felt silly at first. Talking to myself in the mirror? Really? But after 1 week, he said, "Sir, something strange is happening. I'm starting to speak without thinking too much. It's becoming natural." That's when I smiled, because I knew it was working. But wait, there's more. Collocation fun isn't just about grammar or vocabulary. It builds your rhythm, your fluency, your real-world speaking skills. And there's something magical about using expressions like, "It's not rocket science." "We're on the same wavelength." "It's an exact science." These are native-like expressions. They make your English sound natural, not robotic, not memorized, but alive. Sometimes I even ask my students to record themselves while doing collocation fun. Later, they listen and give themselves feedback. It feels awkward in the beginning, but slowly, you start noticing your progress. You begin to fall in love with your voice, your style, your journey. Now I want you to try. Right after this video or article, pick 5 collocations. Stand in front of your mirror, say them, play with them, laugh at your mistakes, try again, and again, and again. This is your moment. Let your mirror be your audience, your coach, your cheerleader. You don't need anyone else to begin. You are enough right now. Because when you practice like this every day, even for just 5 minutes, you're not just learning English. You're building confidence. You're building discipline. You're building you. And here's the best part. After a few weeks of this practice, when you do meet someone to speak with, you'll feel prepared, ready, calm. Why? Because you've already been talking to someone, yourself. Your mirror helped you prepare for that very moment. Now, before I let you go, let me tease you with what's coming next. You've practiced with the mirror, you've played with collocations, you've spoken confidently. Now, what if I told you there's a way to make your speaking even stronger by using something called short audio challenges? What are they? How do they work? Why are they better than long podcasts? Today, we're going to have some real fun with English learning. And I call this one Collocation Fun. Yes, that's right. Learning English can be fun, exciting, and super effective when done the right way. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey where you'll learn how to speak English naturally using a powerful method used by teachers around the world. And the best part? You don't need anyone else. All you need is a mirror, a voice, and your enthusiasm. Let me begin with a simple question. Have you ever said, "There is big rain today"? Sounds a bit strange, right? That's because in English, we don't say big rain. We say heavy rain. Why? Because certain words just go together naturally in English. These are called collocations. And once you start learning them, your English will sound more fluent and more natural. Let me give you a few more examples. We say strong coffee, not powerful coffee. We say make a decision, not do a decision. These word combinations are everywhere in English, and they're the secret sauce that makes your speech sound native-like. So today's method is called prepare, practice, present, and it's based on a very popular teaching approach. You'll not only learn new collocations, but you'll also practice saying them in full sentences, and then finally present your own short talk using them. But before we get into the method, let's talk about something fun and simple: talking to a mirror. Yes, I know it sounds a little weird, but trust me, it works. Talking in front of a mirror is one of the best ways to improve your speaking skills. Why? Because the mirror gives you feedback. First, the mirror never interrupts you, unlike your little brother, your noisy neighbor, or even your pet dog. Second, when you talk to the mirror, you can see how your mouth moves, and that's great for pronunciation practice. Also, it shows you your body language. Maybe you speak with your arms stuck to your sides like a robot, or maybe you wave your hands too much. Either way, the mirror helps you become aware of how you communicate. You might be surprised to see your own facial expressions, or realize that you always raise one eyebrow when you're confused. Funny, right? And most importantly, when you practice with a mirror, it prepares you to face real people. Many learners, including myself, have practiced English for months using only books. But the first time I had to speak to a real person, I panicked. Seeing another face in front of me was so shocking. That's why the mirror is a powerful tool. It helps you get used to speaking to a face, even if it's your own. Now let's break down the prepare, practice, present method. Here's how it works. Step 1, prepare. Pick a topic. Any topic. It could be science, cooking, sports, or anything you love. Let's take science as our example. Now, find some collocations or phrases related to that topic. You can check your English course book, search online, or even visit YouTube channels like mine, Simple Spoken English, where I have free lessons on topics like how to learn English and my English learning struggle. For example, from a lesson on science, you might find collocations like exact science, not rocket science. On the same wavelength, write down 5 to 7 useful phrases like these. That's your preparation. Step 2, practice. Now comes the fun part. Go to your mirror, stand up straight, smile, and start making sentences with the collocations you just learned. For example, parenting is not an exact science. Every child is different. Cooking may look simple, but it's not rocket science. My best friend and I are on the same wavelength. We understand each other perfectly. Say each sentence out loud, clearly and confidently. Repeat each one a few times until it feels natural. This part builds your speaking muscle. Step 3, present. Now it's time to use those collocations in a short talk. You don't need to memorize a script. Just choose a simple topic related to what you prepared. Let's say the topic is, describe an area of science that interests you. Start talking for 1 minute. Try to use at least 3 or 4 collocations in your answer. Here's an example of what you could say. Well, I guess an area of science I'm interested in is cooking. Yes, I know it's not an exact science, but still, there's a lot of science behind it. Like how heating changes the texture of food, or how mixing sugar and vinegar causes a chemical reaction. I believe cooking is a kind of food science, and I think chefs and scientists are often on the same wavelength. Both are always experimenting and discovering new things. I know cooking isn't rocket science, but it's still very interesting to me. Perfect! You've just used several new collocations in context. And even better, you did it alone, in front of your mirror, with confidence. But wait, we're not done yet. The next step to improve your speaking is practice with short audios. Yes, Long podcasts and movies are great for listening, but for speaking, shorter audios are much better. Why? Because they're bite-sized. You can focus better, repeat them easily, and understand every word. There's a great platform called LingQ, spelled Lingq. It has hundreds of short English audios at every level, beginner to advanced. Many of these are real conversations with transcripts. And yes, many are free. Let me tell you how to use short audios in 3 simple steps. Step 1, listen for stressed words. For example, nice to see you again. What are the stressed words? Nice. See, again. Another one. Do you like sports? Stressed words. Like sports. Just listen and pick out the strong, clear words. They're usually the ones that carry meaning. Step 2. Pick phrases you like. Sometimes you'll hear useful expressions like down south, a little bit, quite a few years. Repeat them. Practice them. These are the real building blocks of conversation. Step 3. Summarize the audio in your own words. After you've listened a few times, close your eyes and retell the story or the conversation. Try not to read or copy. Just use your own words. And yes, record yourself. There are many free tools and apps like Vocaroo where you can record your voice online. Listening to yourself might feel strange at first, but it's powerful. It shows your mistakes, your strong points, and how much you've improved. Trust me, it works. And finally, the last tip. This one's really fun. Imitate your favorite English-speaking actor or actress. Yes, I mean it. Watch a scene from a movie or TV show and pretend you are that character. Copy their accent, their body language, their facial expressions, everything. It's like acting, but for learning English. Why does this work? Because when you copy someone else, you don't feel nervous or shy. It's not you speaking, it's your character. This gives you confidence. It removes your fear of making mistakes. You can hide behind the mask of the actor, and this is super useful, especially if you're a shy person. And guess what? It's fun. You'll laugh, you'll enjoy it. And while you're having fun, you're learning real English, the way it's spoken by native speakers. So, my dear learners, let's quickly review what we learned today. 1. Collocation fun. Learn and use natural word combinations like heavy rain or exact science. 2. Mirror practice. Speak in front of the mirror. Watch your mouth, face, and body language. Build confidence. 3. Prepare, practice, present. A 3-step method to turn new phrases into fluent speech. 4. Short audio practice. Use short clips, repeat stressed words and phrases, summarize and record yourself. 5. Actor imitation. Be your favorite actor. Speak like them, move like them, learn like them. Every one of these methods brings you one step closer to speaking fluent, confident English. So go ahead, choose your topic, grab your mirror, hit play on a short audio, or pretend to be your favorite movie star. Whatever you do, just keep practicing. You are on the path to success, and I'm proud of you. Now I want you to imagine this. You open a library. Not a library with books, but a digital library with audio lessons. And you choose your level, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Let's say you choose intermediate. You click on one lesson. Maybe the topic is sports. You press play, and a man and woman are speaking. Hello, Steph. Hello, Steve. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. Simple conversation, right? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to listen, not just for the words, but for the music of the language. Can you hear which words are stressed? Nice to see you again. Those are the important words, the stressed words. Repeat them after you hear the sentence. Just the stressed words. Nice, see, again. Let's try the next one. Do you like to chat a bit about your interest in sports? What are the stressed words? Maybe. Chat, interest, sports. Now, say them out loud. Chat, interest, sports. You're not repeating the full sentence yet. You're only catching the rhythm, the feeling, the emotion of the important words. This is how you train your ears and your mouth for real English. You can even notice little phrases or chunks that sound nice or useful. For example, a little bit north of Tokyo. Down south. I played a little bit of soccer. Repeat them slowly, like you're tasting a new dish for the first time. Feel the words. Fall in love with the sounds. Now, after you've listened and repeated, I want you to close the audio. Yes, close it. And now, try to explain what you just heard in your own words, without reading, without listening, just from memory. You might say something like, there was a man and a woman talking about sports. The man lived in Japan. He played a little bit of soccer. He lived in the north and then in the south. That's enough. You're summarizing, thinking in English, building fluency step by step. Still feel unsure? No problem. Record yourself. Use your phone or an app like Vocaroo. Speak. Listen. Speak again. Compare what you said to the original audio. Did you miss any words? Did you say a little bit soccer instead of a little bit of soccer? That's okay. This process is called noticing, and it's one of the most powerful tools in language learning. Now here's something even more fun. Imitate your favorite actor. Yes, I'm serious. Think of an English-speaking actor or actress you love. Maybe it's Emma Watson, maybe it's Johnny Depp, or maybe like me, you love Rowan Atkinson, the man who plays Mr. Bean and Johnny English. Find a short scene where they speak English clearly. Watch it once. Then watch again and try to copy them. Not just their words, copy their voice, their body language, their facial expressions. Be that character. For example, Rowan Atkinson, as Johnny English says, "Let me clear up the uncertainty for you." Now you say it. Same tone, same drama. Let me clear up the uncertainty for you. This technique is not only fun, it helps reduce your fear. Why? Because you're not you anymore. You're acting. You're using a mask. That makes it less scary to speak. You're free. Free to make mistakes. Free to explore. And free to enjoy English. And here's another tip that I love. You know how we always send text messages to our friends? On WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram? Most of the time, we write in our native language, right? Why not send a voice message in English? It's a simple way to practice speaking. You can send it to a friend or even just to yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need fancy grammar. Just say a sentence. Say what you ate for lunch. Say what movie you watched. Talk about your day. The best part? You can delete it and try again if you don't like it. That gives you time to think and build your confidence. Here's another fun little trick. I call it the English foreigner. You know how English people speak your native language with a strong English accent? Like if you're from India and an English tourist tries to speak Hindi, it sounds interesting, right? Now try to copy that English accent. Not to make fun, but to learn. Say a sentence in your language with that English accent. Then switch to English, but keep the same accent and rhythm. You'll be amazed how it changes your voice and makes you sound more natural in English. And now, one of the best techniques in the world, shadowing. What is shadowing? Imagine the sun is behind you, and your shadow follows you very closely. In English, to shadow, someone means to follow them closely. So when you do shadowing in language learning, you listen to an English speaker and you repeat their words immediately after them, just a second behind. You don't wait for them to finish. You follow their voice like a shadow. Listen to a short audio, maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute, then play it again and start speaking just behind the speaker. Match their speed, their intonation, their stress. Try to become their shadow. At first, it's hard. You'll miss words, you'll feel slow. But trust me, if you do it every day, just for 5 minutes, your speaking will become faster, smoother, and more confident. You'll even start to sound like a native speaker. So, my dear friend, if you want to speak fluent English, remember this. You don't need expensive courses. You don't need a native speaker. You just need your ears, your voice, and your time. Listen actively, catch stressed words, pick your favorite chunks, summarize what you hear, record yourself, imitate actors, send audio messages, pretend to be someone else, shadow native speakers, and above all, have fun. Make English your friend, not your fear. You can do it. I believe in you. Now we are going to talk about a very important skill that will help you in real life and in your English speaking exams. This skill is called responding. So what does responding mean? Well, let me explain in very simple words. Responding means you hear a question, you get an idea, and then you give an answer. That's it. That is what we call responding. But here's the problem. Many students practice speaking English in the wrong way. They prepare their answers in advance. For example, they know the question, "What is your favorite hobby?" And they prepare a perfect answer for that. Then they memorize it and practice it again and again. But what happens in a real exam, especially in speaking exams like IELTS, PTE, or TOEFL? In part 3 of the exam, they ask you strange questions, questions that you are not ready for. Let me give you an example. The examiner might ask you, "What do you think about globalization?" And suddenly you go, I don't know. You freeze, you panic, you don't know what to say, your mind goes blank. Why does this happen? Because in your practice, you only memorized answers. You didn't practice responding to unexpected questions. You didn't train your brain to think on the spot. So today, I'm going to help you with this. I'll show you some techniques that will make you better at responding, even when you don't know the answer. Let's begin. Tip 1. Have some knowledge of common topics. If someone asks you about globalization, technology, climate change, education, or healthcare, you should have something to say, right? So, Make a list of common speaking topics. Do a little research. Read or watch simple YouTube videos about them in English. Learn just a few words or ideas about each one. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to have something to say. Tip 2. Use time fillers. Now, let's say you get a question and you don't have an answer ready. What should you do? Don't panic. Don't stay silent. Use a time filler to give your brain a few seconds to think. For example, say, that's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a moment. I haven't really thought about that before, but let me see. These little sentences help you gain time. While you are saying them, your brain is working fast to find an idea. Try it. It works. Tip 3. Practice real responding, not just memorizing. This is the most important part. When you practice English speaking, don't just prepare answers. Practice responding. How? Well, if you have a speaking partner, this is a great way to do it. You bring 5 surprise questions. Your partner also brings 5 surprise questions. You don't know what questions they have, and they don't know yours. In your practice session, you take turns asking each other these surprise questions. At first, it will feel shocking. You will say, I don't know what to say. But that's exactly the point. It's just like going to the gym. The first time is hard, but the more you practice, the better you get. After some practice, you will start thinking faster. You will respond more naturally, and your confidence will grow. Tip 4. Practice alone using YouTube or your own questions. But what if you don't have a speaking partner? No problem, you can still practice alone. Here's how. 1. Go to my YouTube channel or any English learning channel. 2. Search for speaking practice with random questions. 3. Some videos have a shuffle or random mode where questions play automatically. 4. Don't pause the video. Just try to answer immediately. For example, you might hear, "Do you like your hometown?" And you respond, "Yes, I do. I'm from Jaipur in India. It's a beautiful city with lots of history. Tourists come to see the forts, the palaces, and the colorful markets. I love the food, the people, and the atmosphere. So yes, I really like my hometown." Now, next question. Do tourists like to visit your hometown? And again, you respond. These random questions help your brain stay active. You don't know what's coming next, so you learn to think quickly. This is true responding practice. You can even create your own YouTube channel. It can be private. Upload videos with questions and silent gaps for you to answer. Then play them in random order and practice speaking. Tip 5. Describe what you're doing, anytime, anywhere. Here's another fun way to think and speak in English. Wherever you are, at home, in the park, or at a shop, just describe what you see or what you're doing. Start with simple words. Let's say you're in the park. You might say, tree, bench, dog, bicycle, woman, bag, phone. Just say the words you see. Now make small phrases. A woman riding a bike. A dog running on the grass. A man sitting on a bench. A child eating ice cream. Now make full sentences. There is a woman riding a bicycle. The man is sitting alone on a bench. A child is eating ice cream with her mother. Now you're thinking in English. And more importantly, you're practicing natural responding. You can do this anywhere, even in your kitchen. Bonus tip: pretend you're talking on the phone. You might say, but I feel shy talking to myself in public. No worries. Just put on your earphones or Bluetooth and pretend you're on a phone call. These days, everyone talks to themselves on the street. It's completely normal. You can even pretend you're a spy, like Johnny English. Hello. Yes. I see a man walking along the path. There's a woman with a baby. I think she's about to have a picnic. I repeat, picnic alert. It sounds silly, but it works. It makes English fun, and you build confidence. Final words. Responding is a skill. You can train it. Remember, responding is a skill. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. At first, you might feel nervous. You might make mistakes. That's okay. Keep going. Don't stop. Practice responding every day, even for just 10 minutes. Use surprise questions. Describe what you see. Think out loud in English. Use time fillers. Train your brain to think quickly. Over time, you will feel more confident. You will stop freezing. You will speak naturally. And you'll do great in your speaking exam or in real conversations. That's all for today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Simple Spoken English. And in the comments, tell me, what question surprised you the most during an exam?